Welcome to the Roman Review. I'm Lisa Au, and I'm here today with the world-renowned female power, the one and only Cleopatra.
Hello.
Hi, Cleo. How are you today?
I'm doing well.
First, tell me about your ethnicity.
Well, I'm very Hellenistic. I'm a mix of Persian, Macedonian, and Greek.
Wow, that's interesting. Tell me about how you came to marrying your brother.
Well,
the first time.
Well, funny you ask. When my father died, both my brother and I took over the throne. Because of customs, we had to get married, but he let advisors get to his head, and I've been driven out of Alexandria.
Wow, that's really unfortunate. How did you get Julius Caesar to intervene?
That's such a funny story. I wrapped myself into a rug and had myself delivered into Julius Caesar's home.
Wow, can you explain how Caesar helped you restore your power?
So, he hosted a 3-month rebellion in Alexandria, and Ptolemy died by drowning in the Nile. He was trying to escape.
Were you and Caesar romantically involved?
You could say that.
Well, there has been a rousing of many questions over the death of Caesar. Can you please clarify for the people how and why he could have died?
Well, there hasn't really had any real answers. No one really knows for sure. But I heard a rumor that he asked for a divorce from his wife so he can marry me. But if he married me, that would make him king and his son the heir, which enraged a lot of people. I also heard another rumor that he built a gold statue of me and put it in the Venus temple, which was seen as sacrilege.
Oh, I see. So is your son Caesarion the son of Julius Caesar?
That is a secret I must take with me to the grave.
And did you ever marry again after Caesar's death?
Yes. When I came back into power at Alexandria, I was forced to marry my younger brother.
Don't you think it was ironic that your younger brother stood in the way of Caesarion, your son's succession, and was poisoned not too long after Caesar was killed?
No, it's not. Things happen. I was deeply saddened by his death.
Well, what was your relationship with Mark Antony of Rome?
Well, Antony started to spend a lot of his time here in Alexandria. We had 3 kids together. Next thing you know, we declare each other emperor and empress of the East, and Antony gave away Roman provinces amongst our 3 children.
So, what happened after Antony divorced his wife Octavia?
Oh, Octavia. Well, the Romans then believed I had Antony under my spell and declared war on us. Their fleet crushed Antony's.
And why did Antony stab himself?
Well, because when I went to go hide in my tomb, Antony thought I was dead and couldn't bear to even think of living without me.
Wow. What is your relationship with Octavian?
Octavian is my arch nemesis. He is the one who defeated Antony and I at the Battle of Actium.
How does being a woman affect how you rule?
I was very confident and used my womanly attributes to achieve my goals. Delicious! Cleo-licious! Cleo-licious! Cleo-licious!
Tasty taste!
Check it out!
As a follow-up to my interview with Cleo, I just found out, breaking news, she has passed. Her death is uncertain. It is said that she locked herself in her room with 2 servants and no one knows what happened. It is possible that she could have been poisoned. Cleopatra's death leaves Octavian in charge of Egypt. Thank you and have a good night, folks.
Roman architecture is more common than you think. It continued the style of architecture that the Greeks started, however, quickly adapted new building styles that make them stand out amongst the rest. Many of the styles that originated from Rome may surprise you. You might have thought they originated from Greece, or was not aware of where they came from in general. Come with me to find different Roman architecture used in our community today. Roman columns are still used at various locations all around the world, even when they aren't structurally necessary. These columns are upright vertical pillars that contain the base, shaft, and the capital. There are three famous styles of Roman columns. There is the Doric, the Ionic, and the Corinthian. The Doric columns are the most simplest type of all three. They contain the plain saucer-like bases and capitals. These styles were meant to be able to hold the most weight, even if it wasn't structurally necessary. Ionic columns are slightly fancier than the simple Doric style. The shaft is more slender and the capital is more decorated. The Ionic columns can be easily spotted because the capital is formed by two opposing spirals. The Corinthian columns are the most ornate type of column. They have slender shafts with a beautifully decorated capitals. In the shopping center, you can see the Doric columns displayed with the simple base and capital. Whether these columns are used for structural support or just for decoration, there is no doubt that Roman columns are still an influence in architecture around the world.
Another Roman influence on modern-day architecture are basilicas. Anyone familiar with the Catholic religion is familiar with the large, ornate, and beautiful arch and dome shape of the basilica. In ancient Rome, the basilica was an essential element of ancient Rome forums. Different from today, it was used as a public building with no religious background. It was often named after the person who constructed the building. The first basilica ever made was called Basilica Porcia. It was the official building to hold law cases. Unfortunately, it was destroyed by a fire and was never rebuilt. The last basilica constructed in Rome was the Basilica Maxenti. Again, it was used as administrative offices of the government. Soon, basilicas became the staple building for the Christian faith. The Cathedral Basilica of the Sacred Heart is located in Newark, New Jersey, and is a beautiful sight to see. There is also a basilica located in Philadelphia and one in Washington, D.C. The most famous basilica in the Catholic faith is St. Peter's in Vatican City. There are multiple more throughout the United States. Basilicas are just another example of Roman influence on architecture in today's world.
Roman arches are just another example of the unique style of architecture that can be seen in our community. These arches were used to span long areas with simple materials like brick. Nowadays, they can be used as just ornamental or for a support system like a bridge, building, or other design. From this invention of the arch, they were able to impose this type of architecture onto a bigger scale, like amphitheaters, churches and temples, and many more. Here in this shopping center, we can see the Roman-style arches used all around the building. They help the building structurally and also add a beautiful look to the building. Arches are also used on many modern houses.
The last type of Roman architecture we will be looking at today is the amphitheater. Amphitheaters were infamously used for the gladiator games in ancient times. The first stone amphitheater was built in Rome and is known as the Colosseum. The Colosseum is one of the most famous Roman buildings to date. Nowadays, we can find them in our community to hold concerts or events. One of the most famous examples of amphitheaters here in our community is the PNC Bank Art Center. Sadly, they do not allow visitors in. At this location, multiple events and social outings are held. This huge venue can hold about 10,500 people. It consists of a grass standing area and an inside seating area. It is the top place in our community to catch a concert in the summer. The amphitheater is no doubt implemented in our community.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the start of the Roman Review pregame show. I'm Nick, reporting live just 2 hours away from the start of this week's Gladiator Games. It looks like we're in store for some great fights today, but before we start, let's make sure everyone's up to speed on their gladiators. Roman gladiators are almost always slaves who are sent into the arena, usually to fight to the death, for the entertainment of the people. These gladiators are infamously known for being fierce competitors who fight in many ways. The most common type of gladiatorial combat would be fighting against one another. The many classes of gladiators will be chosen to fight one-on-one or even in groups. Today's matches will feature equus and provocator. The equus, or horseman, always begins the match riding horseback, but usually by the end is on their feet. Although, this is no problem for these skilled fighters in hand-to-hand combat. These gladiators carried long swords and a round shield, and they wore light armor. The provocator is the most heavily armored of all the gladiators. He's covered in all the main areas of his body with iron armor, plus having his giant rectangular shields for cover. At today's match, we'll be having a special event. We'll not only be seeing gladiators fight, but animals as well. Although this is not a common sight in the arena today, we are lucky enough to see it. Tigers, lions, and other beasts are known for being a foe of the gladiators, although this type of contest is not held often. The most common time for this would usually come between fights when criminals would be forced to fight the animals with nothing as a punishment for their crimes. Another type of battle that we see in the arena is an animal versus animal fight. These are also common to see between battles of the gladiators. One of the most uncommon but greatest types of battles to see was a naval battle. These amazing sights can only be held in the Colosseum because of great size and structure. Before the battles, the Colosseum is flooded and filled with water for the ships to float on. When the arena was built, there were small aqueducts placed all around specifically for this reason. One of the greatest naval battles ever to take place there was Titus's, which consisted of many ships with over 3,000 men fighting. At most big events like this one today, we would see many other forms of entertainment that don't involve fighting. One of the events held at the Gladiator Games was chariot racing. This usually consists of 2 4-horse chariots racing around the arena, not fighting, just racing. Another event we'd see would be performance by trained animals. It's not uncommon to see an animal doing tricks for the crowd between battles. Now we are nearing the start of the battle, and there's only one more thing to say. Will we see a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Although in many arenas around Rome, the people decide the fate of the gladiator, because of the size of this event, the emperor will most likely have the say this time. Once the gladiator finishes their fight, and the one is standing victorious over the other, the emperor will decide his fate, thumbs up for life and down for death. Whatever he decides, we are in some amazing fights and much more. Thanks for watching and enjoy the games.